you guys are here for Shea Butter, and we're about to jump right into it. But I just want to say thank you so much for subscribing. I'm at 40,000. Oh, that's my amazing dance. Thank you for those of you who left comments that you really learned from Pamela Farrow in the last interview. I just want to bring you information and a lot of knowledge that could be helpful for your beauty routines, darling. Now, y'all know Pamela's system with the circles is coming out really soon, and I needed to know my circle size. I went ahead and printed out every circle to figure out mine, and I took my hair out, I put it on some tape, and come to find out, I found 3 circle sizes: 28, 32, and 36. I was like, wow, I'm all over the place, but I'm not the smallest circle, and I'm definitely not the largest circle. So I cannot wait until she goes ahead and present the best way for us to care for our hair based on our circle size. So all that good stuff, but we about to jump into the Shea Butter, baby. Listen, we are going to be talking to the founder. Correction, the co-founder, you know, because it's her and her husband that started the business out their kitchen. Oh my God, y'all, that is my dream, to get me a man. So me and him, we can just be walking around here smelling like fenugreek together, have little fenugreek babies. You know, fenugreek smell like maple syrup. My son gonna be coming home like, Mom, they picking at me. I'm gonna be like, what their hair look like though? I mean, do we care? Thank you so much for all of you who are supporting the line. But anyway, we are going to be talking to the co-founder of Shea Radiance. Now, I know y'all seen these products. They are in Wegmans, they're in Whole Foods, they're in Thrive Market, they're in your local health and organic grocery store. Listen, she ain't new to this, she true to this. Even celebrities. Y'all know Winnie Harlow, who taught us we look good in our skin. Yes, she uses Shea Radiance. And even Gammy from the Red Table Talk. Y'all know her. Gammy, Jada, and Willow. I ain't gonna say nothing because we don't talk about, no. We don't talk about Will. I'm sorry. I just want to say, Jada, we are all waiting, all with love, because you gonna shut down the internet. I'm gonna have to call into my job and be like, I'm sick. If you have that one major table talk where you got Chris and Will at the table. Shut it down. Anyway, I'm excited for you all to have this wonderful conversation with Funlayo Alabi. Oh my gosh. She just has a wonderful spirit. It was just coming through the phone. I was like, yes. And her philosophy is that she wants all women to win. She wants you to win in your self-care, in your professional employment, in your entrepreneurship. She wants you to win with your family and your friends. So I was like, yes, girl. Now, the only thing we have to worry about with her, I must say, is that she went to Howard. I mean, I know Howard, they be calling themselves the real HU. Whatever. Because, baby, when a rattler's in the building, we strike. Strike. And strike again. Every time somebody in the building for FAMU, all HBCUs got to bow down. Wet from the highest hills. Fight me. All that to say, I am so excited. You guys know the first question I had to ask her was, why did you start this business? How did this happen? She started her business just to help out her son's eczema, and she's going to talk all about it. And I just think that is a wonderful thing, because I interviewed another young lady. She's the founder of, I believe it's Be Balanced Teas and Tonics, and her son had just chronic asthma. I'm talking about going to the emergency room, always put on these different medications, and she just couldn't take it. She was a super mom, and you know what? Her business was birthed from that, and I promise, you know what? You see for yourself. This is the interview you have to watch after this one.
I created a tonic. He took this tonic for about 7 days, and after 7 days, he did not need a nebulizer, a treatment, a steroid, or anything. And at that moment, it clicked.
Wait, this don't sound right. 1 week.
1 week, 7 days. 7 days.
How's it, Fit Family? Listen, we out here. You already know that I work so hard to connect you with people that could possibly help you through your health journey.
See, I told you. I couldn't believe it. Her son is better. So I'll link that at the end. But without further ado, let's have a conversation so you can learn all about Shea Butter and the wonderful things that occur with it with Funlayo Alabi.
So I'm going to respect your time because I feel like you are high in demand.
Well, it's a pleasure to be on. And honestly, Christy, I started watching your YouTube channel, and I just love your personality. You are so funny and educational and informative. And I'm glad we're both local, and I just want to applaud you for all the great content you put out. You're a teacher, and you teach through your life experiences. And I just really enjoyed all the YouTube videos I was able to watch. But I think they mostly had me like cracking up and learning.
Well, yes, I can't take myself too seriously. I've made every mistake. So if I can pick up myself and then if I could teach others all these great things, then I'm happy by the end of the day.
Yeah.
So that what brings us here, because I am so excited. I had to get some of your things to try. And I have been trying them. And I saw your site. I was like, I don't know where to go. So I can't wait till you get to that point to tell us. But I do have questions because shea butter is trending. So I just want to introduce you to all of my subbies, and you have an amazing story, because I'm sure you didn't wake up and just say, I'm going to sell shea butter today. We want to know, how did you get to this point when you decided I want to share this with everyone? So just take us on your journey. Tell us your story.
Well, here's my story. It started very organically. When people start a business, as I'm sure even with your business, it's a lot of things that are happening in your world. And then all of a sudden, God kind of gives you a creative idea that you then decide that you're going to give birth to, or you're going to let it die. But for me, my family, before my last born son was born, I had gone natural. And of course, there's something about when you go natural with your hair, right? You stop the relaxing and everything. Something switches in your brain. And all of a sudden, you start evaluating everything in your life. How toxic is that? Is that, it's like, what did they put in that thing? You become this like, an ingredient Nazi. You're reading everything, and you become really paranoid about if people are trying to kill you or not. Well, I'm saying all that to say that it was a lot of things going on, and in my family we've always had very dry skin, and with my youngest son, he had eczema. And I remember back then we would go to Target, Walmart, I'd order things offline, your Aveeno's, your Cetaphils, all these big name companies that claim to be able to address dry skin issues, and none of those things worked for us. Let me tell you, I would put lotion on both my boys when they were young, and like within, 2 hours, they'll be gray, ashy, and dusty.
Really? What? No, I'm not.
Yes.
Like, I've dealt with acne, but not eczema. Is eczema, like sometimes when I see people with scaly skin?
It manifests in many different ways. In kids, they will have flare-ups like patches, and it could be due to environmental allergies. It could be due to things that they're eating, and it could also be due to the fact that just the skin is extremely dry. And then, there's some people have it worse than others. There's some people who, it's so dry and itchy that they scratch their skin till it becomes raw.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. But generally speaking, one of the ways to kind of keep it in check is to make sure that the moisturizers you're using are very hydrating, very moist. And back then, a lot of the stuff that they're selling in the regular retail stores claim to be all these things, but they didn't work for my family. I don't have eczema, and still I would use these products and still feel ashy. And so it occurred to me back in those days that the lotions and creams and butters that are being put out there were not designed for us. Because, look at how nice and glowy your skin is. That is what most women are aiming for. It's like, you want to radiate health and goodness. And one of the ways we've done it traditionally in Africa is that we use rich oils and butters for our skin. The Jergens and all the other traditional lotions couldn't help us achieve that feel. And then especially with my boys, it's like, I didn't want to send them off to school looking ashy. And, So that's how we, started mixing products in the kitchen. My mom was visiting from Nigeria. I said, okay, Mom, when you come, bring me like a block of shea butter. I want to play with it. And so she came and she had brought a 5-pound block. This was like many years ago, of course.
When you were younger, did you use shea butter? Or it just...
Yes, we did. So I grew up in Nigeria because that's where I'm from originally. I was born in the United Kingdom, but I grew up from age 5 to age 17 in Nigeria. And typically, almost every Nigerian home has shea butter in it. We just take it for granted, They use it for like a chest rub, if you have like a cough and cold, they'll put a little bit of maybe menthol or peppermint in it and use it as a chest rub. People use it for burns. People use it for beauty. And in the villages where the nuts and the butter are processed, the women use it for cooking.
Really?
Yeah.
Like if I want to fry something or it's baked in?
Yes. So the way they use it there, and I don't cook with it, I probably should. So in the villages, buying like other kinds of oil is not very accessible, but they've always traditionally used shea butter as the oil they use to saute, fry, and cook soups. And I'm sure it's super nutritious too. But yeah.
That is so interesting. So you contacted Mom, and she brought you a block.
She brought me a block of shea butter. And Chrissy, I have to tell you, it wasn't even the best quality shea butter. It had bugs and all kinds of garbage in it. But we used it on the kid's skin. I used it on my youngest son Tolua's eczema, and I could literally see the flare-ups heal. And then we used it on our skin, and that dryness we would feel where, your back is so dry that sometimes you have to rub it against the wall to get rid of that itch. That was addressed. We found out that after using it for about 2 weeks, our skin generally was less dry. Only one application was necessary to really keep the skin looking good. And so we just realized that, this shea butter thing it's powerful. It really works. And so that's when we started making more in the kitchen, and friends would stop by and they're like, oh yeah, can we take a scoop? My kids have eczema. Oh, can we take a scoop here? I have really dry skin. And so just making it available to friends and family in the early years was kind of how we got started.
Really? It got so much where you said, you know what, this might be something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
yeah.
my gosh. That is amazing. So you said it was healing. Do you know, can you rattle off all of the amazing benefits?
So I have to confess that I just love shea butter. And one of the things that makes shea butter really amazing is that it has naturally occurring ingredients, like natural in it. So they call those things like bioactives, like the chemical composition of shea butter has things in there that are good for healing. They call them triterpene esters, whatever that the chemists, the biologists call that. Yes. And it also has natural sterols, right? So when my son's eczema was really bad, the pediatrician prescribed steroids, like steroid ointments, because that's supposed to help, but you can't use it long term. It's not good for you.
Yes.
But shea butter actually has some natural sterols in them, and those are responsible for reducing the inflammation. So the skin is less itchy and less inflamed. Shea butter also has actives in it that also help stimulate collagen. So it's a great ingredient if you're thinking of having beautiful, radiant skin. You can use it as an ingredient for skincare. And so it has all these benefits. But when you talk about the different types of shea butter,
yes,
there's refined shea butter, which is the white shea butter. It's extremely white. A lot of large companies use it. Mm-hmm. And that shea butter has been stripped a little bit. It's still good. It's a great moisturizer, but it's been stripped because a lot of people don't like the smell. They don't like the color. There's a lot of things that many people in the West don't like about shea butter. But what I love about shea butter is if it's processed well, yes, it does have a little bit of a nutty smell, but all those great benefits I told you about only occur in the unrefined type of shea butter. Yeah. So those are some of the things I want to bring out, that, if you're going to use shea butter for the healing and the beauty and the restorative benefits, you're better off using products that have been formulated with unrefined shea butter.
Well, since you're still talking about skin, because I have a lot of questions about skin, because I personally use mostly oils to wash my face and clean it off, almond oils. So this makes sense to me, but I've always been a little leery of shea butter. I'm not exactly sure if you have acne-prone skin, which I have come a long way from that, and I am really nervous. So I Googled it. And there is some people who say, no, shea butter will break you out because it will sit on your skin and clog your pores. And then other people say, no, it's, brightened up my spots. It's good. So in your opinion, have you had people with success that have skin issues outside of eczema, especially using it on their face?
Mm-hmm. That's a good question. And like I said, it always depends. I always like to look at how products work on an individual basis. Mm-hmm. So if someone has really oily skin, I'm not going to say, take raw shea butter and rub it on your face. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I'm not going to ask them to do that because the skin is already oily. But I can show them ways that if they want to work with raw shea butter, if I had super oily skin, I could rub it on my face and use like a wet, hot towel to gently wipe it off. That way, you're getting the healing benefits of the shea without letting it just sit. So I'm not a scientist, and my way into beauty is really more on an intuitive level where you just kind of figure out what is working for you.
Nice.
And what makes sense. So, and also, when we talk about shea butter, sometimes you don't necessarily just have to be using the raw. There might be cleansing products, moisturizing products that have shea butter in them, right? And they might be formulated in a way that they are water-based, so they're also lighter and good for your skin. And
really?
So, yes, because shea butter is also an ingredient, right? You can use it by itself, or it can be used in creams, lotions, and serums. And so I would take it from that angle when deciding, what kind of shea butter I should be using on my face and on my body.
Oh, that's good. So it's an individual basis. Individual. I like that because I do that with my oil.
Exactly. And then for people with super dry skin, they know they can use a little more.
Oh, yeah.
Right? When your skin is super dry, if you're going to use raw shea butter after you've washed your face at night and it's still moist, you emulsify a little bit of shea butter on your hands and pat it into your skin. It's not, you don't just slather it on,
Oh, yeah. Really? Can you use it like cocoa butter? You know how some women, when they get pregnant, they don't want the scars? Is shea butter known for that?
Absolutely. Really? They have the same benefits. So we have what we call the whipped shea butter. And what we do is we've melted both the cocoa and shea and some oil together and whipped it. And then it also has some oat powder. And that is really great for pregnant bellies. It's really good to help prevent stretch marks. Because once you get to a certain point, going from the second into the third trimester, and the side of your belly is itchy because, this baby is, kind of pushing the skin. You want to start using that butter even before you get there. So there's some elasticity there. Now, I have to tell you, everyone is an individual. If you're stretch mark prone in your family,
yes,
you may still have stretch marks, but less, right? So there's really no absolute cure-all. So I always like to leave that out there that, we're all individuals created, crafted differently by God. And if you get some stretch marks, well, praise God, you have a healthy baby and, a few stretch marks as evidence of everything you went through. So, yeah.
Oh, I would like for you to explain also how we can use it. Because again, I hear a lot about shea butter, but my hair just doesn't keep moisture. And I was always really nervous about putting something so thick on my hair because it will sit there and not let moisture in. So if you could help us understand, because a lot of us with this curl, and you went natural, the deal.
Yes,
so
yes.
It just, how are we supposed to use it to get the benefits for our hair?
Absolutely. So typically the way we recommend that people use shea butter is that shea butter, like I said, is an ingredient, right? You can use it by itself or you can blend it with other things. And so it's very easy to make your own hair butter with oils that you like. So if you are a flaxseed queen or fenugreek queen, you can actually take elements of that and infuse it in the butter. And you can actually melt the butter to a consistency that you like. I don't typically recommend that people apply like thick chunks of shea butter to their hair. I always say start light. Take that shea butter in its softest form or even as a balm, emulsify it into your hands and use it as a scalp massage. Now, depending on your hair pattern, when you put it on your scalp, for those with more wavy, looser curls, that moisture that you put on your scalp is able to kind of make its way down the strands. For those of us with denser, tighter curls, we have to rub it through the entire hair shaft. But I always recommend people start with a little bit and put it through your hair. Now, shea butter can also be used as a pre-conditioner. So for those who maybe have their hair in braids and finally take it out after weeks or months, they shall remain nameless. Or maybe you put your hair through a lot of stress. One of the ways our customers have used shea butter is that they put a lot of shea butter in their hair, put a heating cap on it, right? For about 30 minutes or an hour, they just kind of do their Saturday chores with shea butter in their hair. And then they wash it out. And when they wash it out, what they notice is that their hair is softer, their curl pattern is more defined, and then they can go through their normal routine of adding conditioner and doing all the other lighter stuff that they do to their hair. But shea butter really, there's a way of working with it that is very unique to the product and also unique to you as an individual.
What? I did not know that. So it's almost like a hot oil treatment. When I was younger, you put it in there, but
yes.
Oh my God.
Yes. And hot oil treatments were all like mineral oil and paraffin. So with shea butter, it's more a vegetable-based oil that you're using in the same way. So thank you for bringing out that point. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm excited about that part. So did I miss anything? Is there any misconceptions that you hear people talking about all the time and you're like, oh, I got to clear it up when they're talking about shea butter? You're like, wait a minute now.
Yes. So I've heard people say that shea butter comes out of a nut. It comes out of this big fat nut. And I'm like, no. And I know why people say that, because I've been to farmers markets where people are scooping shea butter out of this big gourd, right? It looks like a nut, right? It's a gourd and there's shea butter in it. And, people go there and, the guy or the gal scoops it into tubs and people are like, it just grows on the tree and the butter is just there and you scoop it out. Brothers and sisters, I'm here to tell you that shea butter does not come out of a big gourd. So shea butter actually comes from the fruit of a tree. And this tree grows only in parts of Africa, like between the rainforest and the desert. So only a string of countries throughout West to East Africa have shea butter.
Wow.
And these trees, they have fruits, and the fruits ripen and fall in April every year. And another thing about the trees is it takes about 20 to 30 years for the trees to mature in order to have the fruits. And when the fruits start falling around this time, right now it's harvest season for shea in West Africa with the co-ops that we work with. The women go out to the fields and they begin to gather the fruits. Now the shea fruit is edible, kids eat the fruit, but the goal that the women have when they gather the fruit is that they're trying to get to the nut inside the fruit. So it's a smooth brown nut inside the shea fruit. And inside that nut is a kernel. right? And it's a small brown kernel. So what the women are really going after is the kernel inside the fruit. And what they do is that they grab the nut, they boil it, they dry it. And once the nut is dried, they crack it open, and then you have the kernel. And that kernel is then ground. It's ground, it's milled, they start adding water to it, and they take it almost through 7 steps. And at the end of the 7 steps is when you get the butter. And they apply heat, they do so many things to it in order to get that light yellow butter. So the reason I say this is because, sometimes, when you see the finished product, you might have different ideas of where it came from. Like, some people think it came out of that gourd. No, it comes out of the seed of a fruit. And these women have the wisdom that God gave them from the beginning of time on how to extract the butter from that kernel and create shea butter. And then, from there, they can pack it into boxes or bowls, or you can have someone put it inside those gourds and sell it in the market.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I always thought shea butter came in this big thing that looked like a coconut. So thank you for clearing that up.
Yeah, and sometimes it's marketing. People know that, it looks more interesting if they put it in a gourd or a coconut or whatever, but that's not really where it comes from. It comes from a tree.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you for saying that, because you said the women go out. Now, what a lot of people don't know is that Shea Radiance, what your company does, you're also assisting a lot of women in West Africa.
Yes.
With business, with work. So tell us about that, because I would love to one day go to Africa to see for myself. A lot of us, we haven't been, and we have a lot of misconceptions about what's going on and how our products get here. So it would be great to tell us how you connected.
Yeah. So that's really a great question. And really how all that getting connected to the women farmers, I really wanted to get a more consistent supply of shea butter. And I wanted to make sure that I had a really good quality product. And so my husband and I started traveling to the communities where the butter is being made. And in the process of doing that, we started seeing how the shea nuts were being harvested. And we started seeing how hard these women were working to harvest the nuts, bring it to their communities, and make it into butter. And while we were observing that, we're like, wow, these women, they work so hard. They are creating something that has so much value for the whole world. And yet they're living in poverty. And there was something about that didn't seem so right. And we knew that if we had the opportunity to build a brand that could not only sustain us in the United States, but allow us to be business partners with these women, that we would have an impact. So to be honest, I don't really, people say, oh, you're helping and, you're giving back and wonderful, wonderful. But over the years, what I have realized is that the communities we work with in Nigeria and Ghana, and now we're working with a new set of women in the Republic of Benin, we are actually really grateful that we're able to partner with them and get a quality product, right? But one ways that we add benefit to the women's lives, and I'll be honest with you, a lot of people, when they talk about giving back to Africa, sometimes they make it seem like, these African women are, they're just needy, waiting for someone to give them a new pair of shoes, bars of soap. And as an African woman, I'm like, that is not really what women want. They want the same things I want and you want. If you have a business or you have an enterprise, you want people who believe in you, right?
Yeah.
And people who see the value of either the content or the product that you're creating. And you want people to pay you fairly for what you're creating. And so that is what we try to do with our partnerships, make it a win-win for both of us. And in order for us to be able to give these women access to market and, consistent business throughout the year, we also have to make sure that we're letting our customers, the retailers who carry us, know that as they support us, they are supporting women. And there's very little charity involved, but it's like economic upliftment for all parties involved, if that makes sense.
It does, because I think sometimes, like even at my church or things like that, we just give things.
Mm-hmm.
But it's interesting that you said independence is better.
Yeah.
Business supporting what they're doing. I never thought about it that way.
Yeah, that's what makes it sustainable, right? Mm-hmm. It's like, for things to go on forever, it's like it has to be like mutually beneficial. So as we're doing well here, it's like, we can run back to the community and say, well, we did 1,000 pounds or 10,000 pounds last year. Well, guess what? We're going to do 25,000. And the beautiful thing, how we are in Africa, especially in the villages, it does things like that. It's like the whole community gets to celebrate. They break out the drums and they're like, hey, we're in business. We have a good customer, and they start singing your praises, which is amazing. But it's because it's working for everybody.
Oh, really?
And that's how I want it to be. I want it to be that when we win, that our win kind of ripples to all the other people that we're working with, especially women. The last image pictures I got were the women at their last co-op meeting, where they have this savings program. It's called the Susu. And because of all the money they were able to make, so it's like an investment club where everybody puts money in a pot and then each person, every month gets to take a little bit. And so they sent me pictures of their last susu and told me how much they were able to put in and how much each woman was able to pull out. So sometimes it's little things, when you're a growing and small business, when you want to talk about impact, we haven't built schools, we haven't built hospitals. But one of the things I look at is, the women we're working with are getting to a point where they can exhale a little bit, right? Because there is some income coming in. And when a woman gets to exhale, she's like, okay, I have extra that I know is coming in every month because we have Shea Radiance as one of our customers. That means that maybe my daughter Aisha, I can send her to school, make sure she stays in school because now we can buy books. Sometimes it's like little things, that little impacts that you're having that don't seem to be like earth shattering, but as a woman that is meaningful to you. And so when you see those things happening in other women's lives, you're like, okay, Lord, I'm grateful that I'm part of this. And so those are the things I get excited about. And also, in these farming communities, so you got me started on all these stories.
We're excited to learn.
So in these communities where a lot of the shea butter comes from, they're mostly like agricultural communities. And sometimes their husbands have more than one wife. It's not unusual, right? In these older communities, yes, oh yeah. The husband could have 2 or 3 wives, right? And so when the farming season is over and, they sell the harvest, the husband still is the one who gets to decide how much each woman makes, So, patriarchy, it's all over the world. It's a thing.
Yes.
But what I love about shea butter is that in West Africa, they call it women's gold. And they call it women's gold because the woman gets to keep everything she makes out of either selling the nuts or butter. It's her money. It's understood that that's the woman's money. And so I get really excited about the fact that whatever business we do with the women, it's not dependent on their husbands to say, oh, you keep this or you keep that. That's her money to invest any way she wants to. And we know that when women have money, they invest in the family, they invest in the community, and basically their success means that a whole community can be uplifted. So that gets me excited.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that. Mm-hmm. You said it was women's gold?
Yeah.
Oh, and I like
women's gold.
So there are, so, because, I'm guilty. I'm going to talk about myself, not the rest of them. I'm guilty of just going on the shelf and just buying things and not really thinking about where it came from. So you telling me this raw shea butter, there is a woman out there in Africa. Right now it's harvest season. She's going out there. It's hot. And she is laboring and picking up all of these fruits just to get the nut, just to go through that process that you said.
Yeah.
Just to create these shea blocks. And then to send them for us to make products.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That's amazing. Okay. So that's even a better reason for us to support Shea Radiance. So you have to tell us about all the things, all of the different products that you sell.
Absolutely. So for all my crafters, people who make soaps, people who want to blend their own products, people who just love to play around, maybe make lip balms for the holiday, or maybe you want to even start your own skincare, body care brand, Shea Butter is a great starting point for any products you want to create. And I also sell the raw one to people who want to make their own products. I sell 5-pound blocks, 100, 1,000 pounds, whatever. I love to share, and not everybody, people want to source directly. They want to tap into our supply chain, but not everyone has the bandwidth, the time or whatever to be going to order directly from Africa. And so when we bring the stock in, we also make it available to other beauty brand owners who are, small to medium size, who want to make their own products. So definitely, we can make that available to you. But if you don't want to make your own products, if you're like, look, I know how to make my products, but by the time I get to doing a whole batch, I'm just like tired. My kitchen is messy. I've broken 10 Pyrex dishes already on the stove because I left it on too long. How do I just buy the stuff? So definitely you can check out our website, shearadiance.com. One of the things that we have done over the years is that we've perfected formulas that we make available. We have the whip butter, which is not just shea butter. It's shea butter with cocoa butter and rice bran oil. And then we put oat powder in it because it's super great for the skin. It's really good for dry skin. And it's also available at Whole Foods. So if you want to get it from your local Whole Foods stores, we're in all the Whole Foods nationwide with the whip butter.
Yeah.
And, yes. And then, you know what I forgot to tell you about? We also have authentic African black soap bars.
Okay, so tell us about black soap, because again, I see that type of stuff and I'm just not sure. Black soap is everywhere. I don't know.
Yes, absolutely. So, if I will talk honestly about the Shea Radiance brand, one of the things I wanted to do was to bring a lot of the beauty secrets that African women have been using for millennia and kind of bring it and share it with our customers here. And my goal has always been to bring a very high quality product, not just in terms of our formulations, but our packaging and everything else, things that are like elegant that you would love to put in your bathroom, share with your friends and give as gifts. And so that also translates to the black soap. So we work with a soap maker who is based in Ghana. She has a factory in Accra, and she customizes all our black soap bars. And so people ask, what is this black soap thing? Does it stain? Will it make my bathtub, look like there's charcoal in it? Absolutely not. And so my partner in Ghana makes the soap bars. Her factory hires a lot of university kids, keeps them busy. They're able to use the money they make from working in her factory to pay for their books and, take care of all other necessities. And then it's shipped towards here in the United States. And that is available also at Whole Foods. So these authentic African black soap bars are available in Whole Foods. And the difference, I want to tell you that these bars are not actually black. They're really like a dark brown. They don't stain. They have a really nice foam and texture to them. And a lot of people who have acne or who have really sensitive skin talk about how well these bars work for them. So we have them in unscented, we have lavender, for blemished skin. And then we have another bar that is citrus and tea tree that is really good for people with breakouts, because tea tree is really good for that. So I wanted to throw that out there that, those black soaps, they are the bomb. Bomb, bomb, bomb. I love them.
Oh, that's exciting. See, I didn't know. I learned so much today. Thank you so much. Now, I love the fact that you want to bring those African secrets here to us, the States, sharing and sharing. Now, I'm going to go to Whole Foods today to see these soaps, because I have not jumped on the black soap train.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Now, if I missed anything, if you had, you have the opportunity to tell the world anything that you would love for us to know, you just want to leave us with these words for us to think about and ponder, what would you say? What would you want us to think about it now?
I think the biggest thing I want to say to everyone is that, I'm really passionate about seeing women win, right? And so that is tied into everything we do at Shea Radiance, even down to how we formulate products, because I feel like, women are so busy, we're busy building careers. Many of us have full-time jobs and building businesses. Many of us have children, we have spouses, or we're single moms, and women are so stressed because we're doing the most, and especially women of color. And so one of the things that I am passionate about, and I'm hoping that our products can do for women, is that when they take a Shea Radiance body wash, because we also do body washes, and they can get into the shower and take a shower with lavender body wash to calm them down, and they come out of the shower and apply some of the Shea Radiance with butter, that maybe for just 5 minutes of that woman's day, we've kind of given her a reason to decompress and practice some self-care. I feel my job is done, because I know that when we feel well, when we have that sense of well-being, the hair feels good, the skin is radiant, we're eating well, we're exercising, we're empowered to change the world. I know that when I feel good, I'm more able to not even focus on myself. I'm able to look outward and do the things that I was put here to do. So in a nutshell, that's what I wanted to share with everyone.
That's amazing. Now that just makes me want to go try it, because as you were talking about it, I could see myself with lavender. I like lavender, but you have all other different smells and flavors, but I like lavender. It's so
I love lavender too. And the other thing is that we only use essential oils. So we're not using fragrances, right? So we use essential oils so that you're getting that aromatherapy benefit. So when you're using lavender, it's not lavender fragrance, it's lavender essential oil. So it does the job of calming you down and getting you ready.
Oh, so that is amazing, because some products that are natural, they're half natural and not really. Some things we know, but we can trust that Shea Radiance is all natural.
Yes.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I feel empowered. I feel excited to I've learned so much about shea butter I didn't know. So thank you. I hope all my subbies go out and try this. I'm very excited, because like I told you guys, I have to, and now I'm going to go get some black soap.
We got you. We got you.
Okay, so you have to tell us, I know you have the website, but if we want to follow you, you are powerful and strong, preaching this woman empowerment out here. I don't know where you're going to be speaking next, some sort of entrepreneurial thing for women. So we'd love to follow you. How can we do that? Where can we find you?
Thank you. So please follow us on Instagram at Shea Radiance. That's obviously at SHEA Radiance, RADIANCE. Follow us on Instagram, and that's also our Facebook handle at Shea Radiance. And then you can follow my personal page, which is Funlayo Alabi. And if you follow me, you're really going to be getting Funlayo Alabi uncensored, what's going on in my life, what I'm eating, if I'm exercising, if I blew it, whatever is going on, I'm hoping that you will be encouraged and inspired by my life. And if the next thing we're moving on to is that we're also launching the brand in Wegmans in June. So I think some of the products are already on the shelf, but they're also going to be bringing in the raw shea butters and the hair care products in June. So I'm really excited. Please stay tuned and go out and support us. You know, when a small business or woman-owned brand gets an opportunity to be in the stores are actually looking to see if people will support the brand. And so if you're not getting the support, they can just pull you out. But, you know, I'm very excited about our community, that they've always supported us and they will continue to support us. Yay.
Congratulations for that. We want to make it so that you just explode and have to get many different warehouses because we buy shea butter.
Yes, we do.
That is wonderful. Well, thank you so much. I feel like it's taken a lot of your time.
It's been such a pleasure. Thank you for allowing me to speak with your subbies, and I'm hoping I can come back again and talk. So.
Oh yes, we want to know. The next time, especially when you have